More people are going to be joining us. There is a class of Korea right now. So
Wait, like a few minutes.
I think they are on their way. But we have a few more people. We are very honored today at the Midrasha to welcome to welcome Rabbi MASSRI from the Sephardic Center in Surfside. Rabbi MASSRI, the first day I posted on the status a message or a promotional message from the Midrasha. He congratulated us for creating this place, and he was very generous of his time to come and teach us today. So thank you so much, Rabbi. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Good morning. I will try to practice my French for next time. B'ezrat Hashem. As of today, the only thing I know is merci beaucoup. Thank you. It's a big zechut. I think the power of Am Yisrael is the woman. Al titosh Torah timecha. And therefore, this midrasha is not just learning Hebrew or understanding halachot or Shabbat or holidays. Much more than that is working on the foundation of the Jewish nation, just as your family, husband, children, parents, but more than that, Am Yisrael, because when we bring light, the influence is everywhere. I was actually thinking today to talk about Chanukah, because it's in a week from today, B'ezrat Hashem. We're very excited. And again, I want to say thank you to Giveret Sidmon for the opportunity to be here, the big zechut, and for lots of zchuyot for Am Yisrael, B'ezrat Hashem. So in a week from today, we're going to celebrate the best holiday in the Jewish calendar. Thank you. And it's interesting that every holiday is the best holiday and every Shabbat is the most beautiful parsha of the year. You all know that this is, and it's true, because just like every person is unique and special and important, and the proof is that if we have 8 billion people in this world, is because God decided that he needs each one of us, and each one of us is unique and special and important, and our capabilities and skills and talents and mission and purpose in life, it's different. Everyone have his own thing. Same thing with the holidays. So every holiday and every parsha, it's the best holiday of the year and the best parsha of the year. But Chanukah, especially, I think it's affiliated with women, especially. So as you all know, and I'm sure you learned that, and if not, you're going to learn that next week, B'ezrat Hashem, that when we're talking about the laws of and minagim of Chanukah, women are obligated to do everything the same as men, even though usually when it's mitzvot, they're based on time, mitzvot aseh shazman grama, women are not obligated to do it. Why? Because you above time, right? We all know that. I don't need to explain you. You know, you're always ready in 5 minutes, and 2 hours later, it's still 5 minutes, I'm going to be there. You know, I always say the same 5 minutes of men telling his wife, I will be home in 5 minutes, is the same 5 minutes it takes her to get ready. So 5 minutes. You know, if I told you 5 minutes, why are you reminding me every 20 minutes? You know, so women, live above time, and therefore you're not obligated to do mitzvot that are based on time. Why? Because your connection with Hashem is more eternal. That's not the topic of today. I don't know if you learned that, or maybe you will learn that at some point. But time is it's relative. Thanks to Albert Einstein, we know that today the time is not real. And God created this concept of time, a bubble of time, in order for us to be able to improve ourselves, to do teshuvah. Because if there is no yesterday, today, and tomorrow, past, present, and future, so therefore none of us can improve himself, right? Can go higher and higher. So God created the concept of time so we can become better versions of ourselves. But women already the best, and they don't need to work on themselves, so therefore they're above time, right? And hopefully this recording will get to my wife, so I get some extra 2 points of credit. So with that being said, there is no reason for women to celebrate Hanukkah. Why? Because it's based on time. It's only on 25th of Kislev. There's 8 days on the year. So why women are obligated to light the menorah? If you're in your own house by yourself, you need to light the menorah. Or Chanukiah. In Israel, we said Chanukiah. Menorah is we had one menorah in Bet HaMikdash, and there is no more menorah till Mashiach will come and we'll have the third Bet HaMikdash. But somehow in America, they decided to call it menorah. So we refer to it as menorah. Why woman needs to do it? Also, the minagim, eating ma'achalei chalav, anything that is dairy, doesn't have to be special camembert. It can be anything dairy. And sufganiot. Sufganiot is the Israeli version of donuts, just without the hole inside. We like the whole thing. So that's sufganiot. And I know that some women are very strict with this tradition, also during the year, not just Hanukkah. The whole year, they're into donuts. And they're very special because you prepare yourself, not just for the 8 days of the year. But why? Why they have to do it? Not only that, Tosfot are lots of rabbis that most of them were the grandchildren of Rashi, Rabbi Shlomo Yitzchaki, actually living in France, very interesting. It wasn't, people don't know it, but it wasn't really Sephardic or Ashkenaz. It was a different thing that they use tradition we call today Machzor Vitri, and that doesn't exist anymore. And today, if you're French, either you're Ashkenaz or Moroccan, mostly, Tunisian, Algerian, but that was amazing tradition over 900 years ago. And Rashi had his sons-in-law and grandchildren who called Baalei Tosafot. Tosafot, it means an addition on the Talmud. So if you open the Gemara, the Talmud, you're going to see inside there is always Rashi, Rabbi Shlomo Yitzchaki, or Rabban Shel Israel, the rabbis of the Jewish people. And on the outside, that can be there on the right or the left, is Tosfot. And Tosfot says that not only that women are obligated to celebrate Hanukkah because they were part of the miracle, that's why same thing, they need to celebrate Purim because they were part of the miracle. Tosfot says something interesting, that they did the miracle. It means we're not referring to the woman as, oh, you need to celebrate also Hanukkah because, the Greeks actually was the Syrian Greeks back then, wanted to kill everyone. They actually didn't want to kill no one. The opposite. Amalek trying to kill the Jewish people. The Syrian Greeks back then, we refer them as Yevanim. They were trying to make the Jewish people sin, or in a way to destroy their connection with Hashem. And that was also to the woman, because the Torah is coming from the mother, the Jewish mother, and they were trying to destroy that and to be against it, to a point that they were taking the kids, the babies, or drinking milk, and they put on keren ashor, basically their baras or whatever they were using. They put enli chelek v'nachala be'Elohei Israel. God forbid, I have nothing, no connection, no part, no relations to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So therefore, they were part of the miracle. But Tosfot says no, not only they were part of the miracle, they did the miracle. What's miracle they did exactly? So the Jewish people were afraid. And one of the gzerot, one of the decrees that was back then was that the governor, the king, the mayor, whoever was in charge on the city or the area where the Jewish people used to live in Israel, used to take the woman, or especially Kala, bride who just got married, and before she was able to go after the chuppah and the ceremony to be with with her new husband and to live an amazing Jewish life, the Gmon, or basically the governor, was taking her, and he basically was raping her to be the first one, not just from a place of being against the woman, but to show ownership. There's till today still some places in the world that people are doing it just to show you who is the boss, and basically to kill the spirit of the husband and the spirit of the Jewish nation in general. So there was one woman, her name was Yehudit, and she was the daughter of Rabbi Yochanan, Kohen Gadol, sister of Matityahu and all the Hashmonaim. And she was about to get married, and the brothers told her, Yehudit, don't do it. You know what's going to happen. You're going to get married, we're going to celebrate, someone will say kululu too loud, and they will come and take you. And she say, that's fine. That's exactly what I want. So it's interesting, but the brothers actually were against her and they didn't like this idea. But, women don't really listen to the man, and that's what happened. And Baruch Hashem, because there was the miracle. So she got married, and obviously, right after the chuppah ceremony, they're coming from the Hegmon and they're taking her. And she's telling to this guy, Machshmo, says, listen, take it easy. Don't force me. I'm here because I want to be with you. So chill, all good. Let's celebrate a little bit. And she gave him some cheese, very heavy, the one that smell. I learned that more it smell, the better the cheese is. That's how I learned. So that's what happened. And the guy is eating and eating, and now we get thirsty because it's very salty. So she gave him wine to drink. He get drunk and he fall asleep. The moment he fall asleep, she cut his head, ISIS style, and she put the head on the window. Imagine, huh? I always says, you sleep with one eye open. That's our tradition. Yeah. So that's what she did. She put the head in the window, and all of the people of this Hegmon, they ran away. Her brothers came, killed everyone, and that was the beginning of the war. This war took few years, just so you know. It's not one day miracle. Took few years, and after that, on the 24th of Kislev, they were able to, in a way, win the war. Not completely, but they had access to Bet HaMikdash. After almost 20 years, they were not able to light the menorah. And finally, on the 25th of Kislev, that was the first day, they're in Bet HaMikdash, fighting a little jar of oil with a stamp, with a signature of the Kohen Gadol, and they were able to light the menorah. That was enough for one day, and it was a miracle. So they will be able to go to the north of Israel to find more oil, 3 days to go, 1 day to prepare the oil, 3 days to come back, 7 days in total, plus the 1 day of 25th of Kislev, 8 days of Chanukah. They had the miracle of the oil that we celebrate till today. So therefore, women were not just part of it, but they did the miracle. They started everything. They started the war till today. This is the minhag for women to start Baruch Hashem, and to finish it also. So the question is, what's so special about Hanukkah that not just for women, but also for the Jewish people, how this is connected to our life today, and why Yehudit gave them wine to drink? Think about it. I mean, obviously you can say, oh, he will get drunk, he will fall asleep, but there's much more than that, right? We would like to go into the depth of the miracle of Hanukkah. Hanukkah, as you know, is a holiday of light. The 25th word in the Torah, it's actually light, right? Vayera, Vayiboker. The Torah is telling us right at the beginning of Parashat Bereshit that God created the light. Vayehi or. So the 25th word in the Torah is light, referred to the 25th of Kislev. More than that, the Jewish people, they had 42 steps in desert when they were leaving Egypt, going to Eretz Israel. They had 42 masaot. They stopped 42 times. According to Holy Arizal, each one of us, the Jewish people, will have 42 steps till today. And also the Jewish nation as a nation will have 42 steps. That right after that, Mashiach will come. 42, it's the letters of Mem Bet, Gematria. The numerical value of Mem is 40, Bet is 2, so it's called Mem Bet Masaot, 42. Mem Bet is the Rashi Tevot, it's the acronym of Mashiach Ba. Mashiach will come right after we'll complete the 42 Masaot. Also, it's Rashi Tevot of Miami Beach. This is the last step. From here we go to Eretz Israel, Be'ezrat Hashem. Very excited. So therefore, the 25th step of the Jewish people called Chashmona. Chashmona, open Chumash Bamidbar or Parashot Matot Masei, and you will find out. You can also ask Rabbi Google, Wikipedia, and he will tell you that the 25th Masa of the Jewish people is called Chashmona. Very interesting. Chashmonaim was those who fight against the Yevanim, right? What is Chashmona? What does the word Chashmona mean? You know? Any of you Hebrew? Chashmona is Chet Shmona. For next class. Chashmona is Chet Shmona. Chet is the 8th letter in the Hebrew alphabet, that the numerical value is 8. And Shmona is 8. Chet Shmona. Exactly. So basically, what exactly it means. And we're talking about number 8. How many days we celebrate Chanukah? 8 days. What is exactly 8 all about? We know that in Hebrew, we have the Hebrew alphabet, but every letter refers to a number. And in the Jewish tradition, according to Kabbalah, Hasidut, and how we live our life, every number refers to something. As one refers to Akadosh Baruch Hu, one and only, to refer to the two luchot, the 2 tablets that we received, to refer to the 3 forefathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, 4 to the 4 mothers, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, 5 to the 5 books of Torah, Chamisha Chumshei Torah, etc. But 6 refer in our physical reality to the 6 days of creation, the 6 days of the week, right? From Sunday to Friday. That those days refer to our reality. Sunday referred to the sun day, right? The day of the sun. I'm sure you know that, no? Monday is moon day. In Spanish is lunes. They refer to luna. In Spanish is the moon. And every day referred to a different object or power that we have in our physical reality. When Shabbat, Saturday, the 7th day, is what exactly in the Jewish tradition? So the Maharal explained that every object that you have, there is 6 different directions. For example, if we're going to take this book, Tehillim, beautiful, you have 6 different directions, right, of the book, that it's referred to south, north, east, west, up and down. 7, it's the book itself. For us, 7 refer to the spark, the nitzotz, the inner self, ourself. So we have 6 directions when we're talking about us. We have north, south, east, west, up and down, and we are number 7. Number 7 is the existing itself. So Shabbat is not the last day of the week. Shabbat also is not the first day of the week. Shabbat is the middle day of the week. That's why you can do Havdalah till Tuesday night. That's why you're not allowed to travel on a boat from Wednesday, right? Shabbat is in the middle. Shabbat is number 7. That's why we have the Shemitah, there is the 7th year, and Kol HaShvi'in Chavivin. All 7 in the Torah, you can find everything is 7. Why? We received the Torah 7 times 7 on Shavuot. Literally, the name of the holiday we received the Torah is Shavuot. It means weeks. 7 weeks of 7, 7 times 7. We have the 7 lower Sefirot. If you ever learn, we refer to Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchut is the 7 attributes that Hashem created this world, represented by Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, Aharon, Yosef, and David. And it's all about 7, because 7 is the inner self of our existing. 7 is the book, Tehillim, King David, who is number 7, Malchut, kingdom. There's no coincidence. And this is number 7. So what is 8? 8 is above nature. 8, the shape of 8, actually, it's infinite, right? 8 is the day that we're doing Brit Milah. It's referred to the connection, to the covenant, the agreement between Abraham and Akadosh Baruch Hu, that today we're doing Brit Milah. It's referred to the covenant between us and Akadosh Baruch Hu. Very happy. I hope you give credit. So maybe we will talk about Brit Milah. So the Chanukah is connected to number 8, that this is Hashmonah. Those are the people who were fighting against the Yevanim. This is the Masa, basically the stop of the Jewish people that connected to Chanukah. And by the way, if you look on the Sferot, if you go from the bottom, from Malchut, Yesod up, number 8 is Binah. Binah refers to the mother. Right? When Keter, the crown, is Hashem, Chokhmah is the father, wisdom. It basically means the source. When Nachal Novea Mekor Chokhmah, like the wisdom come from the ground, and then Binah is the ability to take this wisdom and to multiply, to grow, to improve. This is the mother, the Jewish mother, who take the wisdom from the father and bring children. Children is da'at, knowledge. By the way, every time we talk about knowledge, in Hebrew it means da'at, to know, but it's actually I won't say mistake, but misunderstanding of people who don't really know Hebrew. And that is not knowledge. You know what is that? What's the word that mean? Every time you try more. So that can be right, but even more than that, it's a connection. The first time the Torah talk about that is when we're talking about the connection between Adam and Chava. Vayeda Adam et Chava ishto. Adam knew his wife. What do you mean he knew his wife? They had a connection. They had chibur. They become one entity, right? When men and women get together according to Jewish law and they're creating one new entity of ודבק באשתו והיו לבשר אחד, it's not anymore he and she, right? It's just one thing that's called da'at. And the result is a child. That's why in the Sferot, Chokhmah referred to the father, Bina referred to the mother, and Da'at referred to the child. Because any one of us is a proof of connection between husband and wife, between men and women. That's what we call Da'at. When you know someone, you know that there was a connection. We are results of connections, right? So when we need to know God, what it means, we need to be one with God. The prophet Yeshaya is telling us that at some point, very soon, Be'ezrat Hashem, we all of us, we will know God. What do you mean we will know God? We will become one with God. Leman yed'u oti. And how we become one with God? When we learn Torah, right? Israel, Oraita ve'kucha brichu chadu. So we all become one with Hashem. This means that. So the eight sephirah from the bottom, it's Binah, it's the mother. The eight sephirah from the top, by the way, is Hod. Hod referred to Aaron HaKohen. He was the Kohen Gadol. How many clothing he had on the uniform of the Kohen Gadol? 8. So he's the 8th, and he had 8 because the garments, or basically what he was wearing was garments of the soul. So that's all of it's very nice. It's deep, Kabbalah, Hasidut, but let's bring it to reality. Because we celebrate in a week from today, or 8 days from today, we're going to celebrate Chanukah, right? And the question is, why on 25th of Kislev? Why? Why Chanukah wasn't on the 23rd of Kislev or Shvat? So the name, it means that they Chanu. What it means, Chanu? They parked, they stopped the war. On 25th, side point, it means that the victory was on 24 of Kislev, right? Same thing with Purim. When was the victory of Purim? When? Yud Gimel. Open Masechet Megillah. It's written right at the first page of Masechet Megillah, 13 of Adar. But we celebrate on 14. Why 14? Jewish people don't celebrate victory. We could not care less because it's not our victory. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem ilachem lachem ve'atem tacharishun. Hashem is fighting for us. We're doing ishtadlut, we're trying, we're putting effort, energy, everything. But it's Hashem. So we don't celebrate victory. Therefore, there is no celebration on 13 of Adar or 24 of Kislev. We celebrate the ability to learn Torah, to grow, to elevate, la'alot, to improve ourselves. And the only way we can do it is the day after the war, when everything is relaxed, right? When everyone is chill, when we have the ability to learn, to get connected with Hashem. So the celebration is not when we, have the victory, when we celebrate. The real holiday is the day after, when we can go back to the Bet Midrash or to the Midrashia and learn Torah. That's why 25th of Kislev and 14th of Adar. But the question is, why the victory was on that specific day? There's no coincidence. So you're right 100%. And the reason we celebrate Chanukah is because they parked on 25th. But why? Why they didn't park on Shvat or Av or different times? Right? Why that specific day? There's a reason behind. So for that, we need to go back all the way to the very beginning of our existing, the reality, the way that we know that this world. Kadosh Baruch Hu created the first human on the 6 days of creation. And he told them to do one thing, or should I say, not to do one thing. Don't eat from the tree of knowledge. That's it. By the way, now, as you know, the tree of knowledge is referred to the tree of connection with Hashem, because Da'at, it means connection with Hashem. So basically, his job was not to ruin that connection. How you ruin connection with Hashem? When you think that you're somebody. But you need to know that Ein Od Milvado, Hashem is everything. The moment you think that you're someone, so you have gava, you have, become arrogant and you have ego, and this is the moment that you lower the connection that you have with Hashem, right? So the tree of knowledge was the tree that will make Adam to think that he's someone. How this has happened, by the way, what was the sin of Adam Arishon? Think about it. What's your name?
Daniel,
Daniel. What was the sin of Adam Arishon?
he went against what Hashem told him to do.
So he was not supposed to eat and he ate, right? Perfect. Some says that he blamed his wife. That was his. You seems very happy with this. Everyone does. That's Baruch Hashem. We suffer till today because of that, by the way. And some says that was his sin. Why are you blaming your wife? Why I said Aisha shonatata imadi. Kadosh Baruch Hu gave you a gift, the best thing ever happened in your life, and you complain and you blame. That was the proof that Adam was Jewish. That's what we do. We always complain and blame, and that's what we do. That's how we grow. If you don't complain, you don't grow. So Baal Shem Tov and Baal Tanya also talking about it, that everything that works in our life is with the 3 levels or steps of machshava, dibur, u'maaseh. It means every mitzvah you do, there is the thought, the speech, power of speech, and the action. For example, I wanna put tefillin, right? So I have the machshava that I want to get connected with Hashem. I want to remember Yetziat Mitzrayim. This is machshava. Machshava, by the way, in Hebrew, it means moach sheba, the brain in the mitzvah, or in the whatever you do. Moach sheba, right? Also refer to the word besimcha, same letters. It means that every time you're besimcha, you have good thought, right? Machshavot tovot. So this is the first step. Second is dibur, right? Dibur is basically the power of speech that Hashem gave us. It's a miracle that we have it, that we're able to create reality with power of speech. That's why the Zohar, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, referred to us as medaber. There is domem, tzomeach, chai, medaber. Domem is inanimate, is anything that is not moving, like the table. Tzomeach, it means everything that is growing. Fruits, vegetables, trees, everything you see around you. Chai, it's referred to animals. And medaber, it's human. But it doesn't say human. It says medaber is the one who can talk, right? Power of speech. Why? Because this is what Hashem gave us when Kadosh Baruch Hu took the first human. Pasuk is telling us, "Vayipach be'apiv nishmat chaim." He literally blew himself in the first human, and the translation based on onkelos in Aramaic says, "Ruach memalela." He gave us the power to talk, right? Some of us never stop talking, and some of us sometimes are silent. That says that the woman Tisha Kabin, there is 10 measurement, right? Asara Kabin, 90% the woman took, and the last part, it's 50-50. So basically they took 95% of the ability to talk. So I want to tell you something that it sounds like a joke, but basically it's something totally different than what you always thought. And I'm sure that just like you using the fact that Adam blamed his wife against your husband, he's using that against you, that, you never stop talking, right? I always says, I don't speak because it's my actually status in WhatsApp. I don't speak because I have the power of speech. I speak because I don't have the ability to remain silent, Didn't receive that. So I actually told my mom when I was maybe 12 years old, I used this Mishnah, didn't say anything because I wasn't that chutzpah, but I told her, I have a Mishnah that I would like to read for you, and then I says, Asara kabin shel sicha yardu la'olam, tisha kabin atlu anashim. That basically refer that the woman took the big majority of the ability to talk. And obviously I didn't use it as a compliment, right? So my mom told me that I don't know how to read Mishnah. I got offended because I says, Mom, you never learn Mishnah. I'm learning every day Mishnayot. Says, let me teach you how to read it. Asara kabin shel sicha. There is 10 measurement of sicha. What is sicha? Sessions, talking. Big mistake. Again, we go to the Torah. The Torah refers to sicha. There's one place in the Torah. ויצא יצחק לסוח בשדה. Says Rashi, להתפלל. לסוח, it means to pray. So what is sicha? Praying, davening to Hashem. So basically it means 10 measurement of sicha came to this word. There is 10 measurements of praying to Hashem. And the woman took the big majority of it. Not talking, not conversation, praying to Hashem. That's why all the halachot of tefillah, we're learning from Chana. It's in Masechet Brachot, right? Chana referred to the mother of Shemuel, right? Chana was also the 3 simanim that Yaakov gave to Rachel. You know what is Chana? Hinna. Hinna, you know what is Hinna? Chala nida hadlakat haner. That's why we celebrate Hinna before the wedding. It's referred to Yaakov. Yaakov was the first guy to celebrate Hinna. I don't know if he was Moroccan, but he did celebrate it. And it's referred to Chala nida hadlakat haner, the 3 mitzvot of the woman that we say every Shabbat on Bameh Madlikim. Beautiful. All the halachot of tefillah we're learning from Chana. Sfateh na'ot vekola lo yishama, the ability to pray without saying loud the words. All the halachot of tefillah from Chana. So Tisha Kabin shel Sicha, when someone else will tell you, hey, says you don't understand, you don't know how to read Mishnah. Sicha doesn't talk about conversations, talk about praying to Hashem. That was with Hashem, but usually people refer that to conversation between people or talking.
Is it like different types of prayer? What is meant?
Exactly. There is 10. We're not going to go into that, maybe another time. There is 10 different levels of tefillah. One of them is sicha. There is vayifga b'makom hahu. There is 10 different, very nice point. The Gemara bring it in Brachot. Also, the Zohar talk a lot about it, of 10 different words of tefillah, that it referred to 10 different levels, 10 different connections, referred to the 10 commandments that we received from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to the 10 makot that Hashem gave on the Egyptian people, to the 10 seferot. Very interesting. Maybe you can have a whole class about the 10 different levels or layers of tefillot. So this is sicha. It's not so simple just to refer to a conversation. It's actually a connection between the woman and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And why you can do it? Because there's no ego. You talk with Hashem, and there's nothing more powerful than a prayer of a Jewish mother, especially when we light, the candles of Shabbat. Very special. So let's go back to our topic of understanding what was the miracle of Chanukah. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling to the first human, don't eat from the tree of knowledge. Ki beyom ochlecha mimenu mot tamut. The day that you'll eat from the tree of knowledge, what's going to happen to you? Baruch Dayan Emet. That's what's going to happen. We also would like maybe to dedicate the class for the Ilui Nishma of the father of Mr. Chaim Lachmi, Alav Shalom, and also for the father of Emilio Cohen, Alav Shalom, and for the mother of Mr. Dahan. All of them were from our community, and unfortunately, the last 2 days, 3 days, we've been ears, Medele Shamot, heaven Aliyah Be'ezrat Hashem. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling the first human, don't eat from the tree of knowledge. What happened was that eating, it's action. What's lead to this action? Power of speech. He told his wife, don't touch. Don't touch. Why Adam told his wife not to touch? Why? Hashem didn't told him that. So why he told his wife not to touch the tree of knowledge? You know what's the reason? You ever told your kid or someone don't touch? You do. Why? It's dangerous. Why it's dangerous? Because if she will touch, she may eat, right? It means that Adam telling his wife don't touch, it's a result of Adam thinking that if you want to eat, you can eat. But wait a minute. I was before the ability to make decisions. Free will came only after he ate from the tree of knowledge. So there's no free will. So if Hashem is telling you don't eat, can you eat? Can you do something against God willing? You can't. So why are you telling your wife not to touch? The only reason you told her not to touch, because you think that if she will touch, she'll eat. But she cannot eat anyway. Can you eat the table? You can't. So if Hashem telling you don't eat, you cannot eat even if you want, right? So that means that in the head of Adam, there was the thought, I can do something against God. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it. But if I want, I can. That was the sin. That's gava. When Hashem is telling you, don't do it, and you think to yourself, oh, I'm not going to do it. But if I want, I will have the possibility of doing something against God willing. Abba boy. And that was the problem. That's called gava. And by the way, we still have it till today. I will talk to myself, but representing all men in the whole world, thinking that we can do whatever we want, right? And that was the problem of Adam. That's lead obviously to dibur, power of speech. Hey, dear wife, don't touch. And that obviously led to eating. But the first problem was machshava, machshavet ga'ava. That's why, by the way, we're bringing the etrog on Sukkot. Etrog is called Rishon Lecheshbon Avonot, is coming to fix the first sin. Etrog, Aleph, Taf, Resh, Gimel, it's Rashi Tevot, it's the acronym of Al Tevoeni Regel Ga'ava. It's basically go against Ga'ava, being arrogant, and that's why we're bringing it on Sukkot right after Yom Kippur. Now, Adam, in order to fix himself, he came down again to this world with Gilgul, his neshama, in 3 different, very powerful people to fix his Ga'ava. All of those 3 men were known as humble people. First one was Avraham Avinu. Says, Anochi afar va'efer, I'm nothing, I'm like dust and ashes and nothing. Second one, known as Moshe Rabbeinu, says, Nachnu ma, we're nothing. By the way, ma, it's 45, it's the numerical value of Adam Arishon, 45. That's why it says, Vaish Moshe anav mikol ha'adam asher al penei adama. The man Moshe was more humble than Adam. Usually people refer to any man, but no, refer to Adam Arishon, right? And the third guy was David HaMelech. It says, Tola'at velo ish, he was very humble. If you look at the name of Adam, Aleph, Daled, Mem, Aleph, Avraham, Daled, David, Mem, Moshe. Those 3 people came to fix the sin of Adam, and they were very humble. Avraham Avinu, David HaMelech, and Moshe Rabbeinu. Very, very humble. Till today, our big job is to be humble, to recognize that Hashem is the one, Hashem is the king. And Adam Arishon, when he ate from the tree of knowledge, he was really afraid. Why he was afraid? Because Hashem told him that the day that he will eat from the tree of knowledge, he will die. So he says, oh my God. He was the first one to say, oh my God, referred to actually Hashem. He says, what's going to happen? What I'm going to do? You know, it's the first day of his life. It's going to be the last day of his life. You know, he says, I still have so many things to do. So the day finished and Adam is still alive. He was in shock. He was like, whoa, what just happened? I thought that this is the last day of my life. And the next day, he's still alive. But all of a sudden, he realized that the day is becoming shorter. And the sunset, Shkia, become earlier and earlier. And he realized, oh my God, maybe it's not that I will die. It's the day will die. Beyom ochlecha mimenu. Beyom. The day will die. How the day can die? The day becoming shorter and shorter and shorter to a point that there is no more light. And when there is no more light, that's it. Game over. So Adam was really afraid. And every day he was praying to Hashem, please forgive me, forgive me. But the day is becoming shorter and shorter. And Shkia become earlier and earlier. And every day, Adam doesn't know what to do with himself. Because he realized that the moment the light will be gone, game over. All of a sudden, one day, Adam realized that Shkia, instead of become earlier, is actually 1 minute later. And he was like, whoa, this is not over. It's just, it's season, things are happening. And there is a cycle that the day becomes shorter and then become longer again. That was the winter, but now things will change. And he was so happy to realize that and to realize that he won't die actually, and Hashem forgive him, and he will have many, many more years to live and to work on himself and to get connected with Hashem. And he decided to celebrate that day of light. That was the 25th of Kislev. Every year you can realize this is the day, usually that or the week, because it depends on the calendar, that the days become longer and Shkia is become later. And therefore, Adam celebrated a whole week of light. In the Kabbalah, we call it Shavua Or, the week of light, that Adam celebrate to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and says, wow, thank you so much for giving me back the light the ability to live and to work and to improve myself and to do more mitzvot, ma'asim tovim, to learn Torah. The Torah is actually oraita, referred to light. That's why years later, almost 3,000 years later, the children of Adam HaRishon was able to have the miracle on 25th of Kislev of more light. When you celebrate light, God will give you more light. When you recognize the good things of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He will make sure that your children will have more miracles so they can celebrate and to recognize the gratitude of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So 25th of Kislev is not a coincidence. It's the day that the first human celebrated light. And that's why we have more light on 25th of Kislev. With what? With the oil. How you say the oil in Hebrew? Hashemen. Hashemen is the letters of Neshama. Adam was connected to his Neshama, to his soul, and he celebrated. And he was so happy about it. And that's why we have Chanukah. Yehudit.
Right? It's forgiveness. Hashem, it's the moment that Hashem forgive.
Is the moment that Adam realized that Hashem forgive him and he won't die.
Okay, forgive for the mistake of Adam.
Right.
At this moment, that's why they like.
It means that he was supposed to die on the first day, and he won't. He was able to live 930 years more, to work on himself, to have more kids, to have more continuation, legacy, and more things to do. But the moment they realized that was on 25th of Kislev, Chanukah. And that was the moment that he brought so much light to this world that till today, every 25th of Kislev, it's not something that we do in memory of Chanukah. That's a big mistake of people, that thinking that Judaism or Torah, it's an history book, or we're doing things in memory of. We don't do things in memory of. We don't care about those things. We reliving again the history. It means that on 25th of Kislev, we bringing light to this world. We're recognizing the light of Hashem. We understand that we have more opportunities. We have the ability, the capability to do more things. That's what we celebrate. We don't celebrate a jar of oil that somebody found 2,000 years ago. Honestly, we don't even care. You know why we don't care? Because today we don't have Bet HaMikdash. We don't have Kohanim Gedolim. We don't have the menorah. So why I'm going to celebrate something that happened 2,000 years ago when I don't have it today? Doesn't make any sense. Imagine I will celebrate that my great-great-great-great-grandfather in Syria, in Halab, 2,000 years ago, had some money, if I don't have today. Who cares, right? You know, if I have, I will celebrate. I don't have, well, it doesn't help me, you know. Oh, you don't know. Your grandfather was so successful. Yeah, he didn't left me any Yerusha, right? Same thing with the mitzvah, Chanukah. Oh, your great-grandfather, Hashmonaim, they were able to light the menorah. And what about us? Do you have Bet HaMikdash? Do you have Kohen Gadol? Do you light the menorah? No. So the only thing we can do is eat donuts. What's the celebration all about? The understanding it, yes.
And is that in collaboration to Oranganus? Because that's the light.
So in a way, Oraganuz, it's referred to the light that Hashem created the whole world, not the light that we have today. What we have today is the light from the sun. It's physical light. We see it as a spiritual thing, but it's actually, it's photons of light. There's actually machloket in science if it's referred to waves, okay, or to actually pieces. It's very difficult to find out, because the only way to find out what is the light is with light, right? Because the only way for you to see something is when you have reflection of light, right? The only way I can see you is because there is beam of light go to you, and then I see the reflection, right? So it means the only way to see light is with reflection of light, and that's already interrupt the way the light works. So therefore, today there's no way to understand what is exactly light, but it's still physical light. The light that you refer to, Oraganuz, is the light that Hashem created the whole world. That was before the sun and the moon. Sun and the moon was created on Wednesday, the fourth day. So 3 days we had different light. That's Oraganuz that Hashem keep for the tzaddikim. And yes, Adam HaRishon, he connected within from himself to this light through the recognition of the miracles of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that he didn't die and he can live more and work more and do more. And that's what we celebrate on Chanukah. So let's go back to the understanding of why Yehudit, right? What's the concept of the woman? Yehudit, according the story, gave the fruit from the tree of knowledge to Adam, right? And the Gemara is telling us that this tree, what was the tree exactly? What was the fruit, you know? Everyone thinks it's apple, but you're going to find out that Chava is Yehudit, it's the same one. What Chava gave to Adam, what was the fruit? So the Gemara actually brings three different opinions. Chita, wheat, geffen, grape, tehena, right? Fig. It means that there is three different opinions. And the Midrash bring another opinion who called what? Etrog. Etrog, right? That was the opinion. By the way, back then they translated etrog to tapuach. And tapuach in English today referred to apple. That's the mistake. But tapuach in the Torah referred to etrog. Chakal tapuchin kadishin, tachat tapuach oraticha. Every time you can find it in the sources. So basically, the tree of knowledge, according to one opinion, was grape. How we know that? Because the pasuk says, "Vatiten lo mipirio." Chava gave Adam from the fruit. Needs to say the fruit. What it means from the fruit? The Midrash is teaching us that she took the grapes and she squeezed that and she gave them wine. So according to that opinion in the Gemara, Chava gave Adam wine. That's why Noach, later on, many years later, when he left the ark, Noach saw himself as the first human because he was the only man on earth. And he also had three kids, like the first human had three kids, Cain, Hevel, and Shet, right? And Noach had three kids, Shem, Ham, and Yefet, right? So basically, Noach saw himself as the first human. What he did, Noach right away, he got drunk. He took wine, just like Adam did. So according to this opinion, Vatiten lo mipirio, Chava gave wine to Adam. Wine, it's very powerful. Wine, if you think about it, we says nichnas yain yatsa sod, right? When the wine comes in, what comes out? The secret, the truth, sod, right? The Mishnah is telling us that Rabban Gamliel was the big rabbi. He took 70 rabbis and he established the Bedin Agadol, the huge Bedin of 70 rabbis. And they were sitting where? Bekerem beyavne. They were sitting in the vineyard in Yavne. Why? Because when they were sitting in the vineyard, nichnas yain, yatsa sod, they will drink wine in a way, and the secret will comes out, right? What's the numerical value of yain? Yud 10, Nun 50, Shivim 70. What's the numerical value of sod? Samach 60, Vav 6, Dalet 4 together 70. So 70 will comes in, 70 will comes out. 70 rabbis will comes in, and 70 interpretation to the Torah will comes out. Shivim panim la Torah. And those 70 refer for the 70 nations that we have. Shivim umot, and refer to the 70 people who went with Yaakov to Egypt. Shivim nefesh yardu mitzrayma. So it's all about the wine who comes in, and the secret that goes out. So therefore, Chava gave the wine, vatiten lo mipirio. She squeezed the grapes, mipirio, from the fruit, and she gave to Adam wine. So the secret will come out. Because what she wanted to do is to bring the potential of Adam to reality. Potential is power, is koach. We need to bring it to reality. The problem is that you take it and you fall asleep. That's the problem. When we have so many opportunities and so many abilities, but what we do with that? Nothing. We go to sleep. We're tired. Amalek is very happy when we are tired. The pasuk is telling us, "Ve'ata ayef ve'yagea ve'lo yireh Elohim." When the Jewish people are tired, exhausted, the result is ve'lo yireh Elohim. They have no fear of God. The biggest problem of the Jewish people is to be tired. That's it. We don't want to be tired. We want always to be up, to do things, right? But when someone drink wine, if he doesn't do it in the right way, he get tired, fall asleep. That's what happened to Adam HaRishon. When he did something against what God was asking from him and he was drinking from the wine, he brought this kind of negativity of forgetting who is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. On Purim, we also drink wine. And Rava, big Rabbi Amora, is telling us that we need to drink wine. Chayav initially besume bepuraya. Till when? How much wine you need to drink? Till you won't remember, you won't realize, you won't understand the difference between Harur Aman, cursed Aman, and Baruch Mordechai, blessed Mordechai. It means that wine can bring you to the point that you don't remember. But we need to remember. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu zocher kol hanishkachot hata, Hashem remember everything. Right? Adam is a male. How you say male in Hebrew? Zachar. What it means Zachar? Zocher. Remember. The power of the male is to remember. Because the moment he forgets where the blessing come from his wife, where the blessing come from, is not man anymore. Is not giving. The moment the man wants to receive and not to give, he basically lowering his power because he forgets what his job. Yehudit gave wine to this hegemon, so he fell asleep. The tikkun of the sin of the first human was by Yehudit on Chanukah. The miracle of Chanukah, it's the ability to remember what is our job. The concept of Chanukah, the 25th word in the Torah, is light. The 25th Masa of the Jewish people is Chashmonah, Chet Shmonet, the 8, above nature. The covenant between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, infinite, to understand that we come from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Sfera of Binah, the mother, the ability to have continuation, to have more generations, to grow, to improve, to go higher and higher, to become the best version of yourself. Chanukah, it's not just a holiday in memory of. Chanukah is an opportunity to relive again the light of the first human, to take the wine and to use the wine to improve ourselves, to put our enemies to sleep. But we will be up and running. We will remember. We will connect to the soul, to the shemen, to the neshama of ourselves. This is why the women also celebrate Hanukkah, because they did the miracle. They brought the blessing and the future of the Jewish nation and the light. And Yehudit, she's the woman who's doing the tikkun for the sin of Adam HaRishon. The same tikkun that she's doing every Friday night, lighting the candles of Shabbat. She brought darkness to this world. She will bring light to this world. But the only difference between candles of Shabbat and Chanukah, that candles of Shabbat is inside the house. Candles of Chanukah is outside the house. Why? Because on Shabbat is number 7. Shabbat is within. Remember the 6 directions that we have, right? East, west, north, south, up and down. Shabbat is in. So the candles of Shabbat is inside the house, is where you eat, where you sleep, when you establish a Jewish home, a Jewish family. Number 7, Chanukah is number 8, is above nature. The light of Chanukah is outside. Light to the nations, Or Lagoim, is the power of the Jewish mother to bring light outside, to influence her family, her friends, the community, the people around. This is the power of Yehudit, and this is the power of any Jewish woman who understands her power and her ability to bring light to this world. So in a week from today, on Wednesday night, when you're going to light the menorah, when you're going to be part with your husband, with your friends, by yourself, remember, you don't do something in memory of a victory that was 2,000 years ago. No, that's not what we do. You relive again the recognition of the first human, of his connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Next week, we're going to relive again our ability to bring light to ourselves, to our family, to people around us, and to the whole world, to become Or Lagoim. That's why women are also obligated. You bring the light, you're the power, you're Binah. The Jewish mother, you bring the light to yourself, to your family, and to everyone around you. Chanukah Sameach. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו.
So much, Rabbi MASSRI.
For the opportunity,
Well, I didn't have time to write. For sure, I'm gonna show this shiur to my husband tonight. Sure.
that's why. That's why you have you have the recording, so I can also remember that, you know.
No, honestly, I'm gonna listen again. There's too much
It's so
information.
beautiful.
I'm
Thank you so
very,
much, Rabbi.